Maturity has different meanings for people, like drinking alcohol, living on your own, doing things adults would do, making big decisions, starting a relationship, choosing your waifus, and many more examples. But true maturity means accepting the choices and decisions you made. The way Frieren showed it to us can be considered as one of the best way to teach people about true meaning of maturity. The title for episode 2 is "It Didn't Have to Be Magic," and the lesson is maturity. This episode is one of the most important episodes because not only do we get to know Fern better, especially her mindsets, we also get a glimpse of Frieren's better version of her personality and learning about what it means to be mature. And thank you guys for supporting my first video. It passed 3k views. The second episode is separated in two different halves with two different stories. The first half begins with Frieren training Fern to use magic like a proper mage. As I mentioned in the previous video, if you haven't watched it yet, go check it out and then come back to this video. The second montage has more details, and the reason for that is these moments are important for Frieren, and she is trying to make memories before Haiter dies, so she would have less regret for not knowing him. And that is for Frieren. Now goodbye.
この味は嘘をついてる味だぜ。
Just kidding, but that is all for Frieren for now. We will get back to her again, but now we're going to switch to Fern. This episode was entirely about Fern. She is a disciplined young girl who is a war survivor and an orphan. She lost everything during a massive attack from the demons. She was planning to end her own life and join her family, but Haiter stopped her and gave her a new life. It wasn't anything like what she used to have, but she was happy to have it. Besides doing the house chores, she also had an interest in magic and started practicing it. Thanks to Frieren, not only she became a proper mage, she also showed Haiter she was more than ready to take care of herself and showed her appreciation for all the things he did for her. The entire first half of the episode tells us Fern is not just a normal kid. She is different in many ways, from her way of thinking to motivation. She is far ahead from a normal kid around her age. But no matter how much she thinks like a lady, she is still a kid, and here's why. We enter the second half of the episode. In one of their adventures, they met a woman who was saved by Himmel. She asked Frieren and Fern to clean the statue of Himmel. Frieren was about to do the final touch by adding a giant field of flowers, which is an important spell, and I will explain it in the further episodes. However, she stops because she wants to do more. She wants to respect Himmel by creating a field of blue moon with flowers, the same flowers from his hometown. That is where Fern gets sad and angry, because she finally has the chance to see the world before she gets old. But all she did until now was doing simple tasks and gained nothing out of them. Only Frieren was enjoying it because at the end of every job, she asked for local magic. From the Fern's point of view, this is a waste of time to find something that no longer exists. From Frieren's eyes, this is finally the chance to do something different for once, because she saw what happens if she puts time and energy into something, and what she will gain is something good. And the proof is Fern. At first, she didn't want to take her as her apprentice, but after training her, putting time and effort, she gained the level of a proper mage and accepted her as her apprentice. And now she wants to do the same thing and find the flowers. But as I mentioned, Fern is not happy with Frieren's decisions. They spent 6 months but found nothing. Fern believes someone like Frieren, who possessed the power, knowledge, and extraordinary magic, should use this power to help people. She shouldn't waste her time searching for something that doesn't exist. Fern sees the world as a fantasy where everything is separated as good or bad. In her world, everyone are categorized as heroes, villains, and normal. She puts Frieren in the hero category, and now after seeing the real world and Frieren, she is disappointed in both Frieren and her own decision to follow her, and now she has doubts if she actually likes magic anymore. That's why no matter how much she thinks like an adult, She's simply a child with a short patience. She wants to achieve everything as soon as possible, and all of these are child's behaviors. In conclusion, lack of maturity. Frieren also had the same problem before meeting Himmel, and before his death, she didn't have any interest in the world and simply wasted most of her life doing nothing until Himmel came and complimented her magic and decided to find more magic just because someone complicated the magic she gathered. Fern still couldn't believe what she heard, or in more accurate, she couldn't understand her reason at all. She believes everything and anything that everyone's do must have a logical reason. But logic is born from our experience of living. Frieren lived for thousands of years. Her logic is way stronger than Fern, who only lived for a decade. Fern believes she would have been happy if she learned any skill that helped her to support herself, but the truth and the reality that Frieren is aware of it is she would have been happy. That is an undeniable fact, but not as much as she is now. That's why she chose magic. The same reason as why Frieren decided to gather more magic, no matter how useless and common they are. They made Himmel and everyone happy. That's why Frieren knew the reason why Fern chose magic, because it made Heiter happy and she wanted to thank Heiter for all he did for her. So she decided to use magic to thank him and make him happy. The lesson in this story is, in our lives we make choices for our own sake, but we don't accept them and trying to find alternatives, searching for other options that would have benefits us more and telling ourselves there was a better option. But the reality is we did choose based on what we wanted and what we needed to live in that moment. Maturity is to accepting what you choose was what you wanted to do. There were other options, true, there were, but you decided to do this because that is what you wanted. You can search and think about what would have happened if you choose something else, but you can't go back to change it. Don't waste your life to figure out what the alternative decisions could have led, because even if you found alternatives and choose them, you still would have felt this way. Just go forward. You eventually find the paradise you were looking for. It will take a lot of time to get there, but you will get there eventually, and it will be worth it. For the next video, I'm going to talk about episode 3. The title is The Killing Magic, and the message is trust and care. One of the simplest and most beautiful topics of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring the bell so that when the new videos comes out, you won't miss them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and tell me in the comments what did you think about the topic and entirely about this episode. Until another video, Bedrut.
よし。あら、可愛らしい。それじゃあ行こうか。